How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.
What's going on, guys? Welcome into 14P Fantasy. I am your host, Justin Wright. Today, we are talking breakout or bust, the first of many videos talking this exact topic. We have three names, so if you are not interested in any of these three, and you got other players you want to hear about from us, drop them below in the comments, guys, and we'll do part 2 to part 15. You know, however many comments we get, we will answer every damn name in there if we have to. So, do that, I guess. That's a good way to put it. On top of that, guys, if you're interested in what we are doing and you want to help support us, check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/14P Fantasy. Over there, you can get our Dynasty rankings, our rookie rankings, our redraft, our weekly rankings, maybe a draft kit in the near future here. Well, redraft near future. But on top of that, we have RB volatility ratings. If you subscribe to the top tier, there's 16 personnel, as we call it, we'll actually give you a dynasty breakdown of your team. Again, a 10 to 15 personalized video with trade targets, trade options, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So check it out, guys. Check out the Patreon page. On top of that, if you're interested and you like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, hit the bell, do all of that good stuff. All right. That's enough introduction. Let's get into it. Number one on the list is a hot topic. Admittedly, it is Cadarius Tony. And Cadarius Tony, you're going to hear one metric this entire offseason from, the analytics side, the heavy analytics side of Twitter. And it is he eclipsed 2 yards per route run. That's great. That is fantastic. That's not enough for me to change my stance on Cadarius Tony. It's just not. He is still tied to Daniel Jones. He still did not hit that 500-yard marker that rookie wide receivers typically need to hit to not be considered, a faceplant wide receiver. And it's just, I don't believe in the player. The profile coming out of college was not great as a whole, which is why a lot of people were very skeptical of Cadarius Tony in the fantasy community. And he didn't do enough on the field to really show me he can do anything different. Yes, he had an enormous blow-up game, and it would look like it was, he's here. Cadarius Tony broke out, and then he followed up the rest of the season being either banged up or just not producing when given the chance. So right now, I'm not ready to say Cadarius Tony is going to be a top 24 wideout in 2022. I don't think he's going to skyrocket up dynasty ranks. So that's why I have him here as a bust. I mean, I can't get behind it. I just don't think it's the smart decision to bet on Cadarius Tony here. But again, if you disagree, let me hear it in the comments. I'm sure many of you do. Let's get to number 2, though. We're talking Kenny Gainwell. And when we say breakout or bust for Kenny Gainwell, let's put that at like RB30, right? Nobody's expecting a top 20 season from Kenny Gainwell. But if he finishes as a top 30 back, you're probably pretty happy. He is a Chase Edmonds, Nyheim Hines style player. And you know what? I'll go out of my way and just say it now. I think he breaks out, at that arbitrary random threshold I set. I think he breaks out in 2022. Again, 50 targets in limited time his rookie year. A guy that needed to work on his pass blocking and was a big reason why he fell. His main competition is Miles Sanders, who isn't particularly terrifying. He continually underperforms and doesn't give you access to huge ceiling games in fantasy. And I think the Eagles are just kind of fed up with the injury concerns. And if he goes down again, I do think instead of them turning to a monster committee with Jordan Howard and Boston Scott and whoever else, I think Kenny Gainwell kind of takes the 1A in that situation moving forward in year 2. So with a team that has a lot of questions surrounding its outside weapons and the backfield itself, I think it's ambiguous enough that if you send a late second for Kenny Gainwell, you're going to get pretty good return on that investment, especially with this draft class. But that's a different story. So Kenny Gainwell, I like him as an interesting, deep kind of breakout candidate in Dynasty and in redraft, honestly. And moving on to our last guy here. Again, you know him. We talk about him constantly. It is Elijah Moore. And I'm going to give you the same stats I've given you every time I've talked about Elijah Moore. Spoiler, he's a breakout, whatever. Week 7 to 13, he was over 17 points per game. He did that with 4 different quarterbacks: Mike White, Josh Johnson, Joe Flacco, and then Zach Wilson. But the crazy thing about that 17 points per game is it's 17.6 to be exact. That would have put him at wide receiver 6 on the season if he carried that stretch across 16 or 17 games, however you want to measure that out. He's already had that breakout season. He's shown he's capable of having sustained success and producing high profile numbers. In redraft, if he finishes as wide receiver 24, you can mark it as a breakout. I'll probably go as far as to say he's most likely going to be a top 20 wide receiver. And the nice thing about Elijah Moore is we know the talent is there, very similar to what we saw with T. Higgins. But the Jets are most likely drafting a wide receiver in this draft. It's going to happen. So by no fault of Elijah Moore, he's going to drop in value. So if you're going to go and acquire him, do it post NFL draft. I love to bet on players that have proven they're talented, and teams are just filling out necessary depth. Now, do I think Zach Wilson is Joe Burrow and can support 2 top-end wide receivers? No, I don't. But that's me saying I don't really care who they bring in the first round or hopefully second. I think Elijah Moore is going to get his. So Elijah Moore is a good guy to bet on. Go give up a late first if you can get him for that right now. If not, you'll definitely be able to post NFL draft. All right, guys, that is all I have for you. If you like the video, again, subscribe, like it, comment, whatever else you got. As always, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.
How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.